Yeah.
Okay, are we ready now that Wilson is back?
Yes, ma'am.
It's 6:35, right?
37.
6:37. We got some people online.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so I'd like to call the meeting to order. Yes.
Stanley, do we have any new members? I don't see.
Yes, Michael.
All right, thanks. I don't know what happened up there. That's not good. Oh, okay. Dang. Trying to create some mood. Gerald Albright.
There we go.
All right.
Now we're on to the first. All right, we still have an agenda. We also sections around. I'm actually going to move that down to the order. And go to approval of the minutes. But everyone has had a chance to look at minutes. Have people review them for the questions, comments on the minutes from August meeting. The motion to accept. I'm moving. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Okay. The minutes have been approved. Treasury report.
Treasury's in good shape. All right, so we are distributing cookies today. Right. And
You're asking me to pass.
well, no, I have it online.
While he's doing that, most people who are in the room, is there anyone online who is a new member who's joined in the last 2 months? Anyone's a new member? You actually have to unmute yourself, and if you are, please introduce yourself.
Is this calling for the new members? Sorry, what's the, I think I might have missed the prompt for the question.
Just introduce yourself and where you're from if you're a new member.
Oh, okay.
Or even a visitor. We love visitors.
Hi, I guess I'll go first. My name is Micah Kane. I am the newly elected District 4 Commissioner, so though I am not a Franklin Park resident, I plan on being at most of these meetings. So thank y'all. I see a couple people in the room that have supported me, spoke life into me, so really appreciate all of y'all. Yeah, and looking forward to working together. I see Joyce and Richard back there.
Great, welcome. Really appreciative, and we will have a lot for you to do as our District 4 representative, along with the other representatives. Anyone else new or visiting? Huh? Okay, Will.
Almost there. Yeah, I signed it.
We've been waiting a moment while Will organizes himself.
Okay, and so, in answer to the question, what is the Treasury Report? Download it. We had actually two transactions that are regular expenses. We had our monthly Zoom bill, and I think we had a bill for the organization that hosts our website. And during that period, we had two members, we had two new members sign up, and one signed up recently. And when we talk about membership, I'll give you the names of those people. One of the people you all know. Okay. Better on the phone. Yeah, it's what I emailed to the.
Yeah. Just a
The
second.
phone is always right, I guarantee you. All right, so our starting balance was $4,491.72. Our balance is $4,504.14. And we have $14.42 because we had a new membership. When the accounting period our Zoom monthly fee. So we have net income. So, over 8 members across various categories.
Any questions for report? So we sent the report for audit. Moving to our committee reports.
Tamika, do you want me to cover or do you have it?
We'll start with activities, please, with Tamika.
Kirsten, you could cover it. I don't think I think we pretty much know the same information.
Okay, so right now what we have is on the first we have our walk that we do every month. For Thursday, which is October 20th, we at 6 p.m. meet at the Del Santo. Just have drinks, food, they have alcoholic, non-alcoholic. You can hang out with neighbors, anybody who wants to join us is welcome. And then our other big thing is we have a Columbus Marathon that is on October 16th, and we volunteers for that. So there is a sign-up sheet, Columbus Marathon, volunteer.com/Franklin Park. It is one of the water stops. So if you know anybody that would like to volunteer, if you would like to volunteer specifically, please let us know, please sign up. That is coming up in about 2 weeks. So
How many more are needed?
I don't know. If you know that answer.
30 people.
3-0.
Nobody signed up?
3-0. We need 3-0. We have a few people that signed up.
Okay, so you started with 55 and now we're down to 50.
That's
That
right.
includes the other people outside.
Right, so, we've asked Jesus to help us send the information, the person talked about to the civics and to the MEAC members. Blasted the registration information.
Okay, so if you, it's a great family activity. It's a great activity to get out and see what's happening in the neighborhood. There'll be other people there as part of the water stop. We'll be handing out water. Will's not gonna do that? Who can do that?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so he's gonna have a boom box. There's gonna be a lot of, music.
Pardon?
I didn't say there's a DJ.
Well,
Or new
we're
one.
waiting to hear from them.
There will be music. I
There will be
understand
music.
it.
Yeah.
It should be the liveliest stop for the folks going out, so really inspire them and keep going. So, those who are runners, joggers, walkers, and just community supporters, do your best to come out and support the water stop in front of the, at Franklin Park West and Broad, on October 16th. At what time?
Time frame is 6:30 till.
Jim.
Till 10, okay.
So there are 2 or 3 different time slots you can sign up for. Okay? Any questions, further comments?
So the actual place where water will be dispensed is at Woodland and Broad. And it'll be on the south side of the street. And
On the park side,
On the park side.
the south.
And the runners will be running west. Okay. However, well, I won't say however, one of the nice things for us is this is right in front of that bush. Topiary, it might be called, this is Franklin Park. So hopefully we'll get some nice pictures in front of them. On the Pier website, it talks about parking at East High, but I would say the best place to park is the parking lot of the adventure center. Because that's right directly behind that area, and there are restrooms right on the way.
Okay, but I think we can also monitor those who sign up.
That I don't know, that's a great question.
Right, we'll check.
Yeah,
If you have any questions about the marathon, please touch base with Kirsten, Tamika, or Will.
Anything I missed, Mika?
Nope, we covered it. And if anyone is interested in joining the events committee, we will be meeting the week of the 12th to plan next year's calendar events.
Okay? Say that again, please, so the people are clear.
Week of the 12th, we will be meeting to plan 2023 activities and events.
We also have, the Growing Hearts and Hands group here, as an activity, certainly as a community activity. So I think it'd be appropriate for them to report now as well. Yeah, I think that's stuff to share. I see it on the table.
Yeah.
So this means that this is our 10th anniversary, believe it or not. Keep going, but we need you to make that happen. So we are in this restoration project, because as you know, to do, and also COVID has disrupted operations. So, plus the winter time, you know, things have fallen apart. So it's back together. Something worn out because of years ago. So we have a number of projects to do over the next 4 or 5 years. And the one thing that we're able to do now, thanks to the eagle-eyed spot, was posted on Facebook that someone had thought they wanted to do it. And it was stressful because this time the road department, bodies in space. So we went over to with the help of House, 500 people. He's going to give us a beautiful, beautiful garden patio. Approximately 12 by 12. We actually finished the week by 13 by 13. We want to push them around so we can on. But needless to say, we need help.
Y'all hear that?
We need help. So we will be sending out, and I will be posting on
It's on
private park
website.
if you want our help, we'll get in touch with me and we'll certainly letter this week. And also sign sheet. We House was already started some preliminary site work, but we never know how fast we get to work in time. But we have some people who have volunteers to be on construction reviews and leaders. Next week, again, on Tuesday, October 4th, October 6th, October 8th, 9th, and 10th. Dates and times, that we would love you to come out, put on your working garden clothes, sneakers, any gloves at the time, and come out. And we get this done together. We're going to the modern way, we're not using 4 inches of gravel, we're using package of sand and we call paver beds. Lay the papers out, sounds simple. We have videos, so you can see it in advance, if you'd like to see what's going to be involved. But everybody can lay their papers. You only give us an hour with and once we get this done, we will have a grand celebration on Sunday, October 23rd, from 3 to 6 p.m. We also need some help with the set up and during the event with operations and post event. But we're hoping to have those of you who want to come out and show your talents, we will have a DJ. We will have dances in for our people happen to be at graduate students at OSU and also professional dancers. We will have poetry and open mic and much spirit. So art and garden is our team been doing art and garden since we started the community garden in 2009. So it's a traditional thing for us. It's gotten in the last few years. We haven't been last year, but this year is going to be a big blowout. And we love to see everybody.
On this board, we have 3 members. Here, we have one of the founders, Linda Willis and Bill Willis, who has worked there many years. And Fred Willis. So we have the support of this organization. So please come on out and we will have fun.
How do people sign up?
We have, there will be a form, online form, not have to start up, get that form. Not you can email us at arts and hands art@gmail.com. And we will make sure you get information.
It's also in the chat as well.
In the chat, okay. So online people, if you're interested in signing up, the email address is in the chat. We'll be sending it out later as well. Really, an hour or two with everybody will really help to get this done, and then come on out before the third and celebrate collective effort.
I must say also that this market is one of our sponsors for this event. And plus, all I want to add, they are primary sponsors. And I think that either will take the first 75 people who show up, they will something.
Don't worry about it. Still, we're gonna be okay, but also, think about all the gardens. All the gardens are not planning the major celebration, the Going March and Ham will be having. But all the gardens are, ending the season, are clearing out their beds, doing some restructuring. So if you see a garden in the neighborhood, drop by, offer to assist for a couple hours, because that's the way it will get done quickest. Okay? Thank you. Then, okay, so anything else for activities and events? All right, remember, Tamika and Kristen said this, I really want to reaffirm that each of the committees will be hosting discussions to plan for their activities over the next year as per the 4 pillars of our bylaws, in terms of our focus areas. So when Tamika said the planning meeting will be announced for the week of the 12th, save this time. It is very important that we have input from everybody. It's not an executive committee process, it's an open process for everybody. Okay? And then each of the committees will also be announcing their dates as well. Public relations and marketing. Ryan, Will, and Carol.
So, I thought I was back at work last night. So we didn't meet per se, but we did do some follow up on some things that we talked about. Okay, and I'm trying to bring up. Here. On the website, in the banner, we usually have at the top we usually have on the top the announcement of the next meeting. And we talk about how people can know when things are going on. So we also added a category called calendar, which takes you to our Google Calendar, and it lists all the events that Brian so diligently lists on page 2 and sometimes page 3 of our meeting minutes. Okay. And
I know it's bad fitter.
I was just asking how your back fitting went. It was on the calendar for a little bit there.
oh, I know, yeah, unfortunately. So I apologize. So I have both calendars. If you're familiar with Google, I have both
They both
calendars.
imported.
Yeah, so sometimes I send Linda a note, nothing, like what's for dinner. But it'll show up in our email, same thing on the calendar.
Okay, so all the activities are now on our website under a category called calendar. So if you have any questions about when something is supposed to happen or whether something is going to happen, you go to the calendar without emailing somebody or texting somebody.
Yeah, and there's a link. So if there's something missing, okay. But I just wanted to see if anybody knew anybody in this motley crew here.
I mean, these people.
Never met anyone.
Well, it's okay. Well, if they were all on, you cut some people off.
We're fortunate to capture that moment right after the Mingle. And that's kind of like on our home screen, we play something that we had from like years ago, I can't remember what. But if you have any great pictures of events and whatnot, send them so we can get them on the website.
Yeah, October 23rd, we put the glowing hearts and hands on.
Absolutely. So there's also a gallery, which includes just kind of random pictures from around the neighborhood. So people understand, they and I were in a meeting with somebody who swore he was in Old Town Development Project in Old Town East. I said, young man, you're in Franklin Park. You know, so we had to kind of.
But I will say, when Columbus Brewing Company just posted.
Yes.
It'll be opening shortly, they said they're opening in Franklin Park,
Yes, they did.
here in the Trolley District, so I'm very excited to see that.
So I'm gonna kind
The
of,
other thing is, is there a rule against people? And no people in the gallery pictures.
Carol can tell you why there's no picture.
No, I
Yeah,
can't.
well, what you told me, you have to have people's permission to post it. Okay, so we don't have any,
I need a photo release form.
yeah, need a photo release.
Yeah, I've got a couple.
Yeah.
I have one that I can give to you, the one that I used when I took the pictures from the social.
Okay, all right, so,
But at the very least, our release form for all of us should be on file.
there you go, so that's a great point. So I'm sure Carol can help me
Yeah, I
get
can
that
do that.
together.
I couldn't see who was in that picture that you had, so I didn't know.
It was all of us.
Yeah, after the, event. And then we have a new feature, and I'm hoping I can bring it up. Oh, here it is. So if you can get on the website and go to FPCA, there's a new page. I don't do two committees at once here. There's a new page called and then called Member Spotlight. One of the things that the so if you go to FPCA, and one of the tabs under there is Member Spotlight.
Where is that?
Um,
On our website or on?
Yeah.
Yes, on our website. Thank you.
So this one has, Franklin Park Civic Association congratulates longtime FPCA member Richard Harris for being selected to receive the 2022 Bill Dawson Community Gardener of the Year. That should be a good one. But
Okay.
received, yeah.
All right, let's hear it for Richard. And to show you our love and appreciation for Richard, we brought this special point. Show our appreciation. Well, those gonna take what we enjoy since then in the car. Oh, right. For MasterCard. Now, I nominated Richard, and we said we were gonna do this member spotlight because our committee, the membership committee, them on, everybody's on vacation this week. We said that one of the things we like is being rewarded. Okay. But I wish you could have been. And I'm gonna ask you to give like 10-second snippet of your time.
I don't even know what I said. It was the moment, believe me, the moment. But first of all, I think it's because I think I don't know where I am. And I hope to fight people like Mingle and Mingle, because it's not about me, it's about those people who have supported us for years. Good time, bad time, just in time. They are faithful, they show up. And it's not many, but those who do wait for. So, you know, it was more about recognizing our guardian and our committee and people who work in the party neighborhood. That's what the award was.
You sound like an NBA player. But tell them how you landed, how you finished your run.
Well, in my ignorance, most important person in my life. So I've been married to for 40, it will be our 48th wedding anniversary. Well, see, I got corrected. 47 years, November 29th, I have to think like this. And I was the one home that night. There's no way I could have been the house between my daughter and my wife. But Sean saved me and reminded me, because without her, I always got strength me. And then I could do all things to Joyce, who supports me. So if it wasn't for her administrative skills and insights, we would not have been this far. We would have go with our company.
Well, it's here for Joyce as well. All right. And I know.
We have had one of the best gardeners of all times. In Elaine, and she actually owns a apartment building, right? But that's the young lady that knew everything by name. She visited the garden 5 times a day. She watered it, she planted it, she came back, she prayed over it, whatever it took, she was there. And we could not have had this growing season without her. She's been all taking care of her family and doing some things herself. But you know, she is the reason for the season in our garden. Yes, we could not forget her. And Leah and KT in spirit. Yes. And we always have our brother and last month. But yes, we have had great support. She said that when we do the roll call.
So your 10 seconds is up. Well, that's what I was gonna say, is that I'm also thankful that we got the presence of mind, thank Frank Park Civic Association and all community gardens in our area, that work together to make it happen.
Yes, okay,
Yes, we work together.
all right. So we're gonna thank you very much. We're gonna move on. Health and safety, Kim.
All right, I have a couple things here. I have problems finding the person I'm going to describe this, so. Yeah. A week and a half ago, there was an animal called to someone's dog. And both with his dog and cat. It was probably a raccoon, but right? Every kind of so there is something out there that's already known. So if you have a dog or your windows aren't screened, please take care of that. Because it's a dangerous situation. And if they smell the cat and dog food, you just take it for it. As our habitats outside, you know, shrink and our garden, there's no more garden food out there for the scale. This is this problem for these next couple months. So I think it's really important that everybody, you know, secure the property, because if they get in there yet, the animal has not been caught, and it's not even identified. So to guess, we have to, I mean, this is little dog. But nonetheless. So
To kill and chew on the dog.
and cat.
And
In the
In-house.
house.
In-house.
So that's really, yeah, in the house. So watch those dog doors, animal doors. It's very serious.
It really
And
is.
gates, I mean, you know, sometimes you may have somebody working the yard that you gate open.
Well, I know I have a 40-pound grandpa that's living in the shadow.
We have a-
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have
You got students.
All right, let's stay focused. Yes, Kim.
And then also, I think that I'd like to make a motion on, in conjunction with development, I'll wait till next month, but all of the crime that's going on in the short north, and as we become densified, like the city wants us to be, I think that we should address this with NEAC, make a statement about development in the neighborhood, and then send that to NEAC, and then see if NEAC can sign off on it and send it to the city. Because we don't want the crap that's going on down there. I mean, people are getting killed, shot, robbed. It's on the news every night. So, and also, we have some problems, and I think we all knew this was gonna happen. With some of the bars, people being overserved, throwing up in people's yards on the way home and stuff like that. So
This is from the East Market now?
it's not a constructive cells.
This one?
It's cells.
Oh, okay.
But, if the economy improves and everybody's still on money want to get, the these markets that happen from there too, So I think we need some good neighborhood agreements to go out and, something about if you overserve someone, then there needs to be some repercussions or something. I mean, I bartended, I know, but it's like, you don't want to mess with their money, but we want them to be responsible. So, anyway, and I think that this consistent overbuilding is a problem that we need to address with, with some sort of statement and let them know that this isn't going over, and we don't want that crime here. I mean, they already dropped off all the scooters, took them out of short north and then dropped them off, every one of them off here. And that, the reason why was because people were grabbing handbags as they went down High Street, and they could catch them because they were on the scooters. So, I mean, this is our safety. That's a big issue that needs to be addressed. So I'll try to come up with a motion by next week. I'll send it out for everyone.
Okay, for it to be effective, I think it will be important to have, 2 or 3 key paragraphs so people are very clear on what's being addressed. What are we asking the to do? What are we asking the city to do? You don't have to answer that now. I'm just saying that I think we read those paragraphs in order to respond effectively. Okay. Any other questions or comments for Kim? All right, when do you plan to have your committee meetings discuss 2023?
Did everybody get all sorry to sign up?
People announced, so you have to, when do you think during your schedule, when would you like to organize a meeting for people who are interested in health and safety?
And you gave October, or well enough to be October, in November.
As long as it's resolved before the next meeting, yes.
Okay.
No, that's not. It should be before.
between now and, like, within the next, okay, before I speak.
Right, before the next meeting, thank you. Okay, so Kim will get back and announce a time for the meeting for the health and safety to discuss 2023. Okay, development and improvement, I understand there's been a seismic shift.
So, I reached out to Jacob to ask him if he would take the lead on that. He's been involved in any of the discussions we had around development. Okay. But seriously, And that will allow me to work more with Treasury leadership. But Jay agreed with the said follow.
Yeah, they're going great.
And I need people to listen to what I thought was some of the hot topics that were on our dashboard, you know. And I think it's a good idea. So they want to have talk about the
Sure. So, a couple weeks ago, the development committee met with the developer that wanted to take over the property in the corner of Morrison and Oak Street. He came with an updated proposal, but not fully fleshed out. They want to turn that building into a restaurant. The basement is in play as a future expansion space. But they want to see how the actual restaurant portion goes before the basement is fully fleshed out. The biggest concerns that we had going in was that the developer came back and the idea didn't seem completely fleshed out all the way yet. And that there was a variance in place in 2018, I believe, for the fact of an apartment. So we don't have the authority to yay or nay any single development. Our recommendation to both the developer and MEAC was that they kind of come back to the table after they thought things through a little bit more and requested that they put a parking plan in place. They need to figure out some sort of solution to parking. We acknowledge that the site does not have any space to put parking in, but that doesn't negate the responsibility. So we put it back on the developer to go back and kind of come up with a plan and present that to the app. It does sound like they have been tabled for MEAC. Micah, maybe you can address that one.
I was not, is this a proposal that was presented at the most recent zoning committee meeting?
Yeah, as far as we can tell, they got tabled. They have not actually presented.
Yeah, I think they presented at the planning committee, which was what, the third Thursday?
Yeah.
Thursday. I don't know. Are you on the planning? I'm not sure.
She was here last, that time.
I was not at the planning or zoning meetings for this month, but can someone just repeat the name of or the cross streets of the development?
It's Morrison and Oak. Outside of that, we're still waiting to hear back from the east backside here, west backside. As far as I have heard through other channels, that sale is actually not gone through yet all the way. So there's no information on that one. There's the affordable housing project on Main between Pelton and Lily Ave. Same thing. I think that one's gone pretty quiet for the time being.
Right next to churches.
Yeah,
Not on the same lot.
next to it. CBC Beer Hall just put a posting up this week announcing no new details, but kind of making it official that they are going into the trolley barn to some fanfare. And then as far as the East Market goes, Just Chicken and Nola Dak Shack just opened, I believe.
Last Thursday, the
Yeah.
soft opening, the official is this
This
Saturday.
Saturday.
And then the pits follow close behind. And then the only other development news would be the Coda Lingus project, which we're going to have a speaker from Coda for the meeting in October to speak about the new rapid transit line. Those go down.
We discussed that, good neighbor parking.
Yes, yeah. So in response to some of the parking issues that have arisen in the neighborhood due to some new people moving in and some folks that have maybe lived here for a long time that maybe have some perceptions of parking in the neighborhood that are not in line with city code. We're going to come out with a handout, a card type deal that we can distribute around the neighborhood that outlines parking regulations for the city of Columbus. It's going to be a dual, kind of for a dual purpose. The first one is to help people address some of the parking issues they may be having. Do you own the space in front of your house? The answer is no, but maybe not everyone is aware of that. So we're going to be pointing that out to people that is public right away, anyone's allowed to park there. But also pointing out some of the things that as you're driving around the neighborhood, you probably observe, you know, how close can you park to a stop sign, how close can you park to an alley. So for those, you know, this area does not get a lot of parking enforcement currently. But as there's more people over here, as development continues, parking enforcement will become a little bit more important. And we want to make sure that people are aware of the rules so that they can park appropriately. We'll save people from getting some parking tickets and hopefully save some issues with neighbors that may arise as people are aware of what the rules are. One of the kind of offshoot benefits of this would be some better driving in the neighborhood as people are not parking. Maybe they're not aware that you can park within a certain amount of feet from an alley. So as you're trying to turn out through the alleys, you're trying to see around cars. Some of that should get cleaned up. So
Should we address that same scenario? You have a garage, you should park it.
this is for parking only, we cannot dictate that people parking.
In other words, though, long and short of Jay's last point is we don't want people going postal because of parking issues. And that's beginning to happen. So at least we have a content for discussion. And then, of course, on the flip side, there will be our QR code joining the Franklin Park Service Association. So we'll also be able to have a service of membership function. Okay.
We're hoping to tackle problems with
And be proactive rather than reactive.
Correct.
So given the transition to leadership, did you have a discussion, or what do you think you may need as a committee for others who are doing with you?
So Will and I have already kind of discussed getting together to handle the handoff. But we'll need to get Roy obviously involved, Tamika, who's second on a couple of things, and then anybody else. So within the next week, I will get something out. So if we can going, we'll have the opportunity.
Great. Anything, any other questions or comments online for Jay and or Will? Development? Okay.
Yeah, Micah there's a question in the chat if someone wants to check the chat.
Speed bumps around the park were installed. What's that process look like? Anything outside that's going to be? So I can say that I'm not sure what the speed bumps were installed in the park. I'm not around the park. I'm not sure if you have that information at all.
Is it in the park or on the?
Sorry, like on, no, like on the streets surrounding the park, like not on Broad Street, but on the south side.
Like Park West?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was done twice.
Right.
When they first did it, they used the baby bumps. And people were like, hey, those with no money. Then they put in the long, what's it, 36 or something like that.
They're close to speed tables.
Yeah, and then some people call them humps. And those were put in. And there was a little bit of discussion. I know some people had problems with it.
Yes, definitely, we still do.
Still do in terms of, especially the trucks, you know.
Integrity of homes.
Yeah, so, by way of context, Franklin Park West is one of the few north-south streets that people use to kind of get over the freeway. And especially for trucks. So when trucks go over there, it just wreaks havoc with the houses that are near those homes.
The city is disinclined to put those in anywhere in the future. They are a maintenance concern to the city. They cause issues with snow plows. And a lot of research has proven that they're not overly effective. People that tend to speed see the perceived lost time that they take slowing down to go over them and make it up in between them. So while it does slow cars down at the speed hump, speed bump, speed table, the speeds in between them can still be excessive.
Yeah. So does that answer the question or?
Yes, it does. Thank you. Something that we're thinking about in south of Maine is how some just traffic or the speed kind of alleviation problems that's happening on Fairwood. So I would just wanted to get some historical context. How has
Happy to take this offline with you.
sounds good.
That's what I do for a living.
That's
So.
it, that's what it is, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions or comments for development? You're gonna get back to us with a date to meet.
Yeah.
Membership, anyone here who speak to membership?
So, membership committee, the always, hard client, and Lauren, who unfortunately is now taking, a part-time job in the evening, she keeps swimming, up in Westville, so she can meet with us during the day. And then also Beth Porter, who's in the peering committee, by virtue of not being here. Is, she had to leave town, she was back Sunday. But anyway, so we had some great suggestions about having a membership engagement strategy. It started with how we recruit members, so we can have our elevator speak in terms of what this organization offers, why they should become a member. B, when they do sign up to become a member, a welcome letter and orientation that helps them know what all the dials are for the organization. So if you have a website like that, who the meetings are, who the reach, you have questions. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we recognize members, we didn't go too far with that, but recognizing through our social media on our website, a membership spotlight, people in the organization who have made great contributions to the community, and not to good work, not to good work, I know what you did for me. Okay, so we will have, much like the Kim's or first stuff, we'll have a nomination form online. You can nominate it, and we'll get together, draw stars, and recognize this.
Questions or comments for Will? There was the additional comments that came from the strat plan, the variant we did. Part of it, moving right on.
Yeah.
Mr. Willis, we have some questions that we were using for the elder spotlights that we were doing. I can share those that with you as well.
Thanks, Tamika.
Thank you. Yeah, we started. Okay. Any other questions for membership? Does Beth know that she is the new chair?
She can feel it, because I call her every day.
I didn't discuss it because it's really.
But she has indicated willingness to kind of.
Pick up the slack.
Yes.
Fantastic. Any other questions for membership? Comments?
Oh, also, I was going to, I said I was going to mention this earlier, and unfortunately I misplaced the names of new members, but we are without a membership campaign, getting new members, people sign up. One of which is our very own Kenny Pope. Kenny Pope, who works right here. The Harrisons and Linda and I ran into her, had a great conversation at the awards dinner, and she was saying how, and anybody had a bunch of course the whole staff, how impressed she was with our newsletters and our social media posts. I said, well, you don't want to say two posts around the staff.
I know that's right.
But she said, oh man, and so, and when she got the last newsletter, she showed it to share with everybody in the organization. She was just that impressed. I don't know what she's done about it.
Let me also say that, when I went to drop a note, I did, okay, I sent a note to Sean, but I wanted to send one to Jimmy, because for the first time, Franklin Park had no fee classes. Particularly for youth, but for adults, they had no fee classes. They didn't really promote them. But of course, I was looking at the pictures, checking out, but for the first time, they had no fee classes, because I think the pressure, we said, we simply cannot afford $35 a child, who's got 2 or 3 kids, to come up in here, or even for adults, $75 for a class. It's just preposterous. So, I'm not sure what the tipping point was, but.
I think it's many voices,
Yeah.
We talked to them, I sent them a couple of letters about the little nasty note on the gate around the center, saying, if you don't have a car, you got to walk all the way, I said, hey, people have a feeling, this is right after you mentioned.
Right.
And then, other situations, I mean, we kind of bringing it up to them. I think they started to get to that. So now they also send in relation to those 3 classes. Typically, you only get a new version in a particular one, but they agreed it was a great idea to start sending it. So in the association, you see more and more about all the different activities that we find out, the evening up.
I didn't do that. Okay. All right. That's good. That's all covered. All right. Now, Mike, how did you take your video off? You've been on all this time and you took it off.
I don't think you'll want me to see me annihilate this burger that I was eating.
Cookies over here, but you down. Listen, I'm about to put you on the spot because we normally have a NEAC update. And so I know that you were not warned of this, alerted to this in advance. But if there is something that you would like to share, either in terms of what your experience has been so far, or if there's something particular that is on the agenda that, I'm sure you can't remember everything, but if there's anything you'd like to share as our newest District 4 representative, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for penciling me in. There are a couple of things I wanted to share. So I'm the vice chair of the Community Engagement Committee. So a lot of the initiatives I'm supporting so far have been Growing Hearts and Hands and some communications related initiatives. So something that I'm working on now is how we can essentially use like One Linden's like site model. I don't know if anyone has checked out like onelinden.com, but it's a centralized hub for all neighborhood resources, commission resources. I can drop the link here, but it's really, really cool. Something that I think that we struggle with on NEAC, just me being more of like an objective voice since I'm new, is there's no centralized location for communications, and we're not even on social media either. So I think it's oftentimes a lot of like commissioners like, sharing specific resources, events through their email lists and directly with their networks. But in terms of like that one-stop shop of where you can go for the latest on what's going on in the Near East Side, I don't think that exists. So something that I reach out to the Neighborhood Design Center because they're the ones who put the One Linden site together is seeing if we can leverage that template and kind of cater that and design that for NEAC. So that's one other initiative. I'm also like trying to restructure like the goals and the objectives of the community engagement committee. So happy to share more on that another time. But really, I just like I have to say, like, I really respect and admire how efficiently like y'all run your meetings. Sometimes I can't say the same about NEAC in terms of like, hey, okay, let's table this. And like keeping people, keeping the conversation moving. So I'm just really excited to just continue to learn from y'all and hopefully share some of like these best practices with NEAC. Yeah, I feel like it will have a more formal update next month. But yeah, that's all for me for now. Like again, I just to quickly just replug this. I shared the link for the Growing Hearts and Hands garden restoration project in the chat. But if you can please share that, can I echo Joyce enough? If you can please share that with your network to get at least like 20 to 30 volunteers this week will be great. Just to know we have a good supply before next week.
Okay, good, thank you, thank you. Any questions for Mike?
I love the idea of like having this one stop. This is hard to be fun. Why on the south side? Resources. We need that.
Well, yeah, we need someone.
Yeah, someone to do that.
So, great point. So we'll be glad to work with you in terms of being a feeder for things that, we bring up or that we hear about. And, one thing about calendars is they're never complete. There's always something going on that people didn't know about, or that gets changed, and people didn't know about, et cetera, et cetera. So, we try to do our best and we're glad to link our calendar, which, we put some things outside of Franklin Park, but not everything outside of Franklin Park. I mean, on the website, but I'm saying on the page where we list all the neighborhood associations, we'll be glad to provide a link, iCal, something like that, for that can be put on the website so that people want to just look at what's on our calendar. Because just like on the weekend, I think we all look at different calendars. We look at 614, we look at
And we made enough now, I think it stopped, but Eastgate had food truck nights.
Yeah.
So we might want to go over, a couple of families go over to Eastgate and support their food truck. So knowing what the different city associations are doing in that area, I think benefits us all.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, anything else? Well, thank you then. All right, next time, be prepared. Okay. All the new business, I'm going to collapse into one. Because as you heard in the discussion, we are, as an executive committee, are really focused on developing the 2023 calendar to be able to present that to you by the December meeting. And so for that to happen effectively, it really needs your support, your involvement, your participation. So each committee will be meeting, even though you haven't participated in the committee before, if you heard something, get involved, tag on to the committee. We'll be sending it out, we'll have more definitive dates and times. We'll send out a list of all the committees. Please participate virtually, in person, however it happens. As part of that too, we did agree that the Mingle would stay in May, June for now. We will look at the calendar and come up with a definitive date, but there will not be a winter Mingle this year. All right, or in the 23.
Can we do Carolyn?
Well, we will look at the activities committee, and let me just say briefly, it was brought to our attention that it's useful to have some kind of major event in January. One, so people don't go the whole year and there isn't anything we'll get together. But also, in terms of membership, there is a psychological benefit to people paying for the whole year, as opposed to coming in June and paying for the half a year, even though we're still talking, fairly small amounts. So we will look at having some kind of event in January that helps to remind people that we're a very effective organization that will have a lot to offer throughout the year. But it will be something that will come up on discussion. Okay. So generally, the 2023 planning is taking place. The committees will be meeting over the next 4 weeks. Everybody, please plug into a committee, even if you've never been a part of one before, and let us know your ideas and thinking. Other questions or comments? Announcements.
Woodland Parks minutes that were posted in their Facebook group and for their last meeting, and they have like 4 events each week. We should focus on quality, not quantity. But when we talk about these events, right? CODA update, number 11 is not going anywhere. For the January proposed changes, they're proposing to have all day lineups on the weekends. Some buses like Broad Street, Main Street would run every 30 minutes all day, the whole route, Saturday and Sunday, and then others like the number 11 would run every hour, so that buses can transfer and run to transfer. They're trying to keep service changes minimal in January because they're still hiring, and Dispatch wrote an article on that they're still looking for drivers. And oh yeah, submit questions for next month's meeting about Lake Us, as Jay mentioned, to fpcivic@gmail.com. You will have a representative from Lake Us talk to us at our meeting next month. This should be exciting. And the Department of Neighborhoods is having a best practice conference on October 15th at Columbus State. And Central Community House, I put this out in an email earlier today. They're looking for donations and volunteers for the trunk or treat on October 29th at the Main Street location. And then tomorrow night at the Brighton location is their community dinner. And then Thursday is the East High School Homecoming Parade.
I just want to put that. You talk about a community stalwart. Central Community House is doing a kick-butt job. I mean, if you go by, I don't go by the Main Street, but I go by Brighton Road. They are always jumping over.
Oh, yeah.
You see, I've been to several of them.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to that.
Yeah, and they had something recently. It wasn't. I mean, they had a stage about that. Oh, okay, yeah.
There's like the Village Makers Festival.
That's what it was.
I rode by that on my way to another event, which is the same slide. They had East Side School marching band there.
Okay.
And yeah, East High School homecoming is Thursday in Northland. So that's the place to view the parade or on Parkwood. So if you Broad and Greenway, and they have like 2 home games left. Don't know about but be home for the playoffs or the playoffs. And then on the stolen cars, there's juvenile judges meeting on October 20th at Hope Lutheran Church in Brighton Park. It's been a big issue that's spearheaded by the now former Old Oaks president, David Gray. So they're gonna have, they want questions in advance and send the email information in the follow-up email, and then big table is next Thursday. Central Community House is having one at noon about bridging the gap. And also congrats to East Market Station Morocco Greece for winning the bronze spoon and the People's Choice Taste of Pepsi last week. So we should keep supporting our local establishments, keep local businesses and neighborhoods strong. Community night every Tuesday night from 5 to 8. I walked by the East Market as I was stopping by my house after printing the agendas at the library, and then coming back here. One of the last set, can't wait for CDC to come in.
Question. If, we were out of town, did anybody happen to go to the event in the amphitheater? Or we did? Okay. Great. Okay, good. I didn't know what kind of turnout. I know they.
I thought we were gonna, another one of the membership.
I'm sorry.
I thought that was another one of those events where the elite with the membership.
Yes, whoever was in town, not calling names.
Okay, all right.
I will ask, well, I won't say their primary, but one of their primary ways of advertising that event was walking around and flying. We talked about it, which, takes a lot of commitment. So what kind of turnout is it?
Mike, I have gone here that East High School needs volunteers for the concession stand for homecoming, and there is a Google document.
That was also included in the reminder email that I sent out this morning. Special thanks to Kate Curtis-Souza for spearheading that, and our Brothers Civic Association with Tina for being the ones handling the power. Thank you, Nick, wherever you are.
Other announcements? Tamika? Saturday?
Just Chicken is having their grand opening this Saturday. I believe it's at noon. So if people want to come by and try it out.
Mike has a new venture. And so it's called Just Chicken.
Yes.
They had a soft opening the other night. Now the grand opening is this Saturday at noon at the trolley bar. I will not be able to attend, but I'm sure people know Just Chicken is the new business supporting our neighbors.
Yep, and we have some neighbors that are working there as well, including some East High schoolers.
Say it again.
We have local, so some local neighbors are actually working there, including some high schoolers from East High.
Okay, other announcements?
Yes, I just like Kim Barnett, like those companies got in dance.
I heard about that actually. It became known throughout the community. Okay. Okay, 2 things. Please don't forget also that the Brownsville Village Market will have the last session this Thursday from 3 to 6. We've got a smudge stick workshop, a seed saving workshop, some more vendors, and there'll be tours of the extension center. So for those of you who've never been inside, this is a good time to go. For those of you who've been in and want to see what the changes are going to be, this is a good time to go. And for those of you who want to make sure that the community is a part of the community extension center, this is a good time to go. All right, so those tours will be at 4 o'clock on Thursday. Also, I participated in something on Sunday, and I don't have the, I'm sure Brian can find it as well, super sure. But it's called Requiem. And it's Malcolm Cochran's, and it's right here at the Rock of Faith Baptist Church, it's 1667 Main Street, just west of Fairwood. And and I also have ties to it because it's one of the Columbus Landmarks building, and we're working to save it as an endangered building. So they've cleaned out the inside, they've got us these pews that were around the road, but all the stained glass is intact, all of the lights, incredible lights are intact. And then they created a a cappella sculptural installation, that's what we call it. An a cappella, so they had about six women who sang, 5 of whom are sitting in refrigerators with their clothes and their heads are sitting up, which is very interesting. But this is part of what makes it sculptural. But what I really want to share is that it's almost like each Sunday from here on, and there will be panel discussions, one on the past, one on reckoning the future and rebirth, and then a final panel discussion at the end of October. But every Sunday, 1:30, please, if you can, go over to Rock of Faith Baptist Church, 1667 East Main Street, for a very unique experience. This is, grant funded, et cetera, but donations are always appreciated. Okay, so slightly outside of our boundaries, but a wonderful example of adaptive building use. Nothing, the whole building, they've got an economic development committee or a structure called equity, and they're trying to do something, and there's a big sale or no sale or half of the top, so it's the same thing. Okay. But in the meantime, check out the building. Now you know that on the 23rd you can't stay too long because you gotta get over to Growing Hearts and Hands Garden. Okay. But for the other Sundays, please check out Requiem. It's a very interesting artistic process. Okay. Deborah Tucker is one of the principal singers. All right.
The Harvest Fest this Saturday, and then Michael Doody wants to partner up with the FPCA Growing Hearts.
It's happening. It's happening this Saturday. I know it's happening this Saturday. So please note that as well. The Harvest Festival is taking place as part of Four Seasons. Wrapping it up. Okay. Other questions, comments, contributions, announcements? I get a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Those who are online, I'm very sorry, but Linda brought some wonderful, unique artisanal cookies, which we are now going to enjoy.
Yeah.
Oh, we're missing out, Micah.
We also had
Mr. Frank.
I might have to.
door prizes for people who came to the meeting.
Well, Michael gets something as a new member.
Because those mangoes were everything last time.
Those mangoes were delicious.
I never had a better mango in my life.
I brought them home. They were delicious.
Oh my gosh. So what was the treat today? I missed it.
We had chocolate cookies. Linda's doing them now. And then we have door prizes. We have mom. Two members who are here today. So.
Next one.
Yes, yeah, I have it.
I'm gonna drop. Good night, everybody.
All right, good night, everyone.
Good night.
All right.